to think about where we were a year ago. Your work has brought our classrooms to life. We have classes held up on this floor. We have become stewards of our environment. I've watched our young men realize that this garden allows them to now take what they're learning and bring it out beyond the walls of All Hallows. To everybody who made this possible, a sincere thanks. Thank you, everyone.
My name is Julie Gaffney. I serve as the Executive Director of Fordham's Center for Community Engaged Learning. I want to welcome you to this space. We've just heard about its impact and its presence, this rooftop garden and eventually rooftop farm, co-created by Fordham and All Hallows and funded by the generous support of our friends at Edison. I also want to take a special moment to highlight, as the leadership of All Hallows did, the launch of the Laudato Si action planning process. This is a process that Fordham and All Hallows have taken on really at the imperative of the Vatican to find a way for our institutions to center the work of climate justice, environmental sustainability in everything that we do, from day-to-day practices, from our infrastructure and investments, our teaching and learning and research.
When we look at this roof area, this is like really an example of what we've been trying. This gray space here that you guys are growing food in is part of the hope that we're also trying to do for our community. But we have to build solidarity. I'm glad to be here with Elhollos, with Fordham. I'm glad to see the great work the students are doing, the faculty supporting the students, following from behind. They're the leaders, right?
Yes.
They're the next generation. So we as spokespeople up here on this panel are only trying to really follow and be followers of our people who live in our community who are voiceless. They're not here with the mic. So we're trying to represent, and hopefully we're representative of their needs and concerns so we can all create better outcomes.
As a utility, right, Edison needs to really play a vital role in its commitment to its climate change, right, and clean energy. I want us to be seen more as a community partner, right? You see this green space up here, and we've participated in help funding that. And I think there's so many opportunities for us to get involved with the communities, with the folks that are boots on the ground here, so that we could better engage our youth and build a sustainable energy future.
The most important thing for us actually has been that if you look at the numbers, 80% of the people that are participating are from communities of color or marginalized communities. So to me, that is an important statement about how we're looking at this as the future pipeline for opportunities within organizations like ours, like American Museum of Natural History. So we're working with local high schools. In that case, it's in Brooklyn. That funding came from Brooklyn. We want to try to replicate some of that here in the Bronx so that we are at the front of the line when those green opportunities come, and they will be coming.
The life lessons that you all learn will show up in your homes. Being close and connected to nature. So when you think about a concrete jungle, this is recorrecting that. This is like really changing and transforming that. So just looking at this and the exposure that your young people get, like this is where it starts. This is where it starts.
So, I mean, I think this is a moment for the Bronx to really lead and build some strong STEM programs with the resources that we have. And this is an example. It is about taking the spaces that we have in our school buildings and starting with our young people, leading those efforts to transform rooftops across the borough.
And I do think, just picking up on that, as we think about our relationships, the relationships that we have, our organizations have, but also relationships between middle schools, elementary schools, high schools, community colleges, four-year institutions, that we really can maximize impact through that kind of ecosystem, that network, that it doesn't have to be, and it can't be, it really can't. We don't have the time to make it into anything other than a collaboration.
I just want to say, you guys are already doing it. You guys are already working with faculty, with Fordham University, with Con Ed, and it's amazing. And I want you guys to take an opportunity to just take a moment for yourself to reflect on what you've done. You know, just like Maisha said, when I got here earlier, there were 4 students outside. They were so excited to tell me about this rooftop and everything that they put into this, into this space. When we got here, they served us hors d'oeuvres from what you guys have grown. You know, you guys are so further advanced than most. So again, I commend you guys for doing the work that you're doing, and and thank you for inviting us and allowing us to be here this evening.
You already have leadership and faculty here who are listening and want to be a part of building something greater than just this building. Tell your friends about the garden that you created on the rooftop of your school. Ask them if they created one. If they didn't, help them figure out how to do it.
But I think it is about building coalition outside of these walls, looking at how your school impacts the community, how your school can give back to the community. But it all matters on what change you want to make. And I think that's up to you all here to think about, what is it that you want to do this year? What's the most important thing that you want to do to make All Hallows experience and your Fordham experience that much more powerful?